What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. This time we'll be doing our first match preview of the season, which is Manchester City's Community Shield match against Chelsea. It's that match that you don't really care about if Manchester City lose, and if they win, you're going to be ecstatic, you're going to be delighted, and you're going to say it's one more for the trophy cabinet. And the same goes for Chelsea too. It's the Premier League champions up against the FA Cup champions. Manchester City obviously rolling on from last season, breaking all kinds of records. We've added Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez has got injured. Riyad Mahrez has now started training again, so he probably will feature at some point in this game. I'm not expecting him to start, but he'll probably feature at some point. Chelsea signed a few players. They've got rid of Conte. They've brought in Sarri. They've obviously signed Jorginho when Manchester City were after him. He'll probably start in this game, so it'll be interesting to see how both sides cope. Sarri likes to pass the ball, work the ball into space, so the big pitch should suit him, and obviously it'll suit Manchester City. Man City are going to go for a makeshift team in this one, you would imagine. I'm expecting Chelsea to do something similar too. I'm expecting Chelsea's team to probably be stronger than Man City's. Man City have had a lot of players out at the World Cup, the most out of any team in Europe. We've had a lot of players get through to the last 16, quarter-final, semi-final. Benjamin Mendy obviously won the competition. So there's a lot of players that have been out on international duty, that players have just only started returning to training this week, that are probably, we might see one or two of them feature. Maybe we might see them start too, but I'm expecting quite a few of them not even to feature in this game. They'll be given another week of to get up to fitness with pre-season, and then go into the match against Arsenal. So players like De Bruyne, David Silva, Raheem Sterling, John Stones, Gabriel Jesus, etc, etc. So I'm expecting us to work with what we've worked with in pre-season, if you get where I'm coming from with that. With Chelsea, I'm expecting a stronger side for them. I know a lot of their players they've either signed, brought in, or haven't actually been to the World Cup. So like I said, we were expecting to see Jorginho, who Man City were after, and Chelsea ended up signing him instead. I'm expecting to see him. So there you go. I'm also expecting to see some of other Chelsea's first team players as well. We probably won't be seeing Eden Hazard, which it's got to be good news for some of us, hasn't it? Willian, speculation over him. Will he be going to Barcelona? Real Madrid are after him. Will he be starting in this game? We'll have to wait and see. But we're also keeping an eye out for other players that Chelsea will probably be playing too. I've not been keeping an eye out on Chelsea in pre-season. I don't know how they've been doing. I know they had a pre-season match in the middle of the week, and Man City's had a rest, so maybe Chelsea players aren't going to be as fresh legs as Man City, but they are trying to get up to pace. And after all, this is kind of a pre-season cup that's glorified and played at Wembley. So I'm expecting Man City to play their normal style of football in this, which is going to be the passing style of football that we've been playing whilst we've been under Guardiola. So I'm going to pop up my team prediction so you can have a look at this makeshift team, and then my team prediction basically, and then you're free in the comments to put your team prediction, because this is probably going to be the hardest game for me to predict a team prediction. Arsenal's probably be equally as difficult to predict, but this match isn't a Premier League first game of the season senior match. This is just kind of a glorified friendly cup. So I've gone for Bravo in net rather than Ederson, because Bravo's been playing for most of pre-season. I wouldn't be surprised to see Joe Hart on the bench. I wouldn't be surprised to see Joe Hart make an appearance either in this game. I've gone for Bolton, Luke Bolton at right back. Danilo's out injured. Kyle Walker's only just resumed training earlier this week, so he probably won't be starting in this game. We might see him come on to get some minutes to try and warm him up for the match against Arsenal. We'll have to wait and see what kind of shape he's in. Nobody knows. No one has the answers, because he's not done any pre-season matches, because he's been away, because he's been at the World Cup. But Luke Bolton's been very impressive. Remember him taking on Fabinho, that's been out on social media. He was fantastic in that game, and I'd love to see him again in the at right back. He was quick. He's an attacking player. He does play as an attacking player. I think he's an attacker. I think he's a striker actually, that's converted into a right back. Welcome to Pep Guardiola, everyone. But I'm excited to see him if he does start, and I'd like to see him start. On the opposite flank, I've gone for Benjamin Mendy. He's returned early to pre-season along with Bernardo Silva to get up to match fitness. He hasn't played a lot of games or minutes at the World Cup, so I'm expecting Benjamin Mendy, there's a perfect opportunity for him to go and showcase that he should be starting at left back, playing for Manchester City, and one of Man City's most senior players, and now a World Cup winner. Centre back partnership, Eric Garcia has played a lot of football. The Manchester City under-18 player of the season last season. He's been very impressive in pre-season, and I'd love to see him get some minutes here, see what he's made of. Will we see Tosin Adarabioyo? I'm not too sure. Will we loan him instead? I don't know. I'm expecting that the players that we want to sell either permanently, so players like Denayer, like Joe Hart, maybe might not make an appearances because they don't want to pick up any injuries, and then the players want to send out on loan again, you won't want to pick up any injuries now, so they probably won't be featuring. I'm not expecting Garcia to go out on loan, so he could well feature, could well start in this game, along with Laporte. Laporte had a rest mid-pre-season because the pitch was bad, played in the last game, I expect him to play again. He's got a big season coming up for Laporte, so it'll be interesting to see him there. And then we're gone for defensive midfield. I've gone for Zinchenko. We could see Douglas Luiz operate here or somewhere else in the midfield, but I've gone for Zinchenko. He played the last game in that role. It'd be interesting to see how he does. Manchester City have tooted about selling him, but he wants to stay at Manchester City. He played at left back a lot last season. He's slowly starting to move forward, so playing in defensive midfield. He's good on the ball, he's a good passer, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. I'm not expecting to see Fernandinho in this game. I've gone alongside Zinchenko, I've put Gundogan, because Gundogan's returned to training this week, and Gundogan obviously hasn't played a lot of football. I don't think we're generally getting knocked out in the group stages, so he should be quite fit. We could see Claudio Gomez go in there, and I've gone for Phil Foden and the attacking part of the midfield. But let's face it, any of them midfielders that I've just named them 5, we could well be seeing any of them 3 slotting anywhere in that midfield. It's not our normal Fernandinho, David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, but every single one of them's only 2 of them returned to training this week, and Kevin De Bruyne I don't even think's returned to training, but he is expected to be at Wembley watching on from the stands, but he's not going to be in the squad as he returns to training on Monday apparently. Now I've gone for the wingers Bernardo Silva and Leroy Sané. That's predictable. Leroy Sané obviously didn't go to the World Cup. Extremely disappointing for him, but he should be nice and fresh, and it'd be interesting to see how he does. One of our best players from last season, and certainly one of our most experienced and exciting prospects on the pitch in this game. Bernardo Silva's had a solid pre-season, that match against Bayern Munich. He looks hungry. He's got a point to prove. He's got Riyad Mahrez and Raheem Sterling sniffing down one in that right midfield slot, so it'll be interesting to see if Bernardo Silva can try and maintain it there. We could see Phil Foden drift out wide if he ends up starting, and Bernardo Silva drifting central. Again, he's a good passer of the ball, he's a good controller of the ball. He could become our David Silva. You never know. Remember when he first started at Manchester City, he was a left midfielder that ended up converting into a central midfielder and an attacking midfielder. So it's all about versatility. So obviously Bernardo Silva can do that. And then up front I've gone for Sergio Aguero. I know we have to include a couple of players that have returned in my opinion, because we're short on numbers. I'm expecting Nemichi to go out on loan, otherwise I'd have said he'd be starting, but with him expected to be going out on loan, I'm not sure it's wise for Man City to be starting him in the Community Shield, risking him picking up injury and then hampering his progress if Man City do feel like the loan is the move forward for him. Just like with Brahim Diaz, I'd expect to see Brahim Diaz in here, but with him expecting to go out on loan and things floating around here, there and everywhere, I'm not too sure we'll be seeing these players. But this is an extremely difficult team prediction for me to predict. I'd love to see your team prediction in the comments below. This is just as difficult as the Arsenal team prediction to predict, because you don't know where everyone's at with their fitness, with pre-season, with their work rates, how fit they are, what they've been working on in the gym, and etc, etc. So it's so difficult to predict. Chelsea's, I imagine, is just equally as difficult. It's a game really I'm not that excited for, because let's face it, it's not the Premier League match, it's not a competitive match, but it's nice to have football back. We've got the English Football League, which is Championship League 1, League 2, and also non-league football returning this weekend. We've got Man City in action in the Community Shield, so the football, Premier League football is right on the horizon, right round the corner for us, and football is back. Absolutely ecstatic. Absolutely delighted. So there we go, it's been the match preview. We'll have a match review up on Monday, because the game is on Sunday. Make sure you tune in. I think it's on BT Sport. If you haven't can't get down to Wembley, you can watch it on there, or go and watch it in a pub or whatever. If you are going to Wembley, then go and enjoy your trip. I'm not going down to Wembley because it costs a lot of money for a game that, quite frankly, in my opinion, holds no relevance whatsoever. But that doesn't mean no one else can't go. Go and enjoy your trip. Go and enjoy your trip to London. Go and have an amazing time, and hopefully Man City can bring home their first trophy of the season. So there we go, that's been the video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up so I know you enjoyed the video. Leave your team predictions in the comments below. I want to chuck out a score prediction. I'll go for 2-2, go to penalties, and Man City win on penalties. There we go. Leave your score predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Plenty more Man City content, daily Manchester City content coming up. You got all that to look forward to. Transfer window closing in the week. We've also got the match review coming up, of this game, and the match preview for the Arsenal game. And then then we're going to move on from there with a load of Manchester City content. So if you're enjoying the content and you like Manchester City, it's worthwhile subscribing, notifications on, links to social media, they're in the description below. You can go check me out on Twitter and Instagram. Also leave my email if you want to go and send me any business enquiries. You can go and hit me up on there, and I'll leave the links to my second channel, JSGC Gaming, and my brother's partner channel, which is my partner channel, Mixed, doing mixology drinks. You go check them out, like and subscribe over there, and I'll see you all for the next Manchester City video. So it's been JSGC. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the game. Peace. Ciao for now.